CNN has the numbers. Joe Biden's in big trouble. There's a bunch of video clips also revealing that he is a racist ass and always has been. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. Part of it is because black men are turning to Trump. They're no longer fooled by this Biden. What a jerk. He's always been a blowhard. He's like all Democrats, always thought blacks were in his pocket. Watch these numbers of blacks supporting Trump in unprecedented numbers over at CNN, enemy territory, making our case for us.
But look at this number for Donald Trump, 22%. Where was Donald Trump at this point 4 years ago in the polls? He was just at 9% of the vote. So he's seen more than a doubling in his support among African Americans.
Of course, I would want to meet Trump. I want to shake his hand. He's the only president that I see that can ever make America great again. He's capable of doing that.
I would love to go to a rally with Donald Trump come, because I'm a big Donald Trump supporter, and I will support him 100%.
These are people on the streets who are starting to wake up to not only the strength and goodness of Trump for what he did for black unemployment, which it was at its lowest in, I think, 50 years under him, and then now it's spiked back up under Biden. But here's a clip, an early clip of old Biden footage showing that deep down in his heart, he has attributed crimes to blacks, which isn't a big deal, as much of a big deal as it is that it's part of their character, that it's part of who they are, that it's so deeply ingrained in them that they can't escape it. That's just like the Democrats did with their eugenics programs in the early 1900s with Margaret Sanger wanting to do you know what to blacks. And that is racism. When you attribute someone's values and actions to their physical properties in their DNA and their ethnicity, not in their culture, because you can change someone's culture.
There's about 100,000 of them who are the predators. 100,000 of the kids you read about in the front page of the newspaper every day.
That's what's down in his heart, is that the kids are growing up to be predators. And we'll show later that he's talking about the inner city black kid.
This margin, which was in the 70s just 4 years ago, look at where it is now, 69 minus 22. That puts it in the 40s. My goodness gracious. If this held through the general election, obviously we're still months away, this would be by far the best performance for a Republican candidate among black voters in a generation, 2 generations.
It's nothing but love for Donald Trump here in the South Bronx, the North Bronx, the East Bronx, and the West Bronx.
So you tell me.
We want Trump to come back. Please, bro. Biden, get out of here, bro. I will come to the rally.
Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing.
That is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. Without a conscious developing, a conscience. That is a denial of the human soul that you, or that you have to even develop it. I mean, the idea that these inner city people don't have a moral understanding or don't have a Holy Spirit convicting them. That's where convictions come from, the Holy Spirit, not from rule of law. Guys, the state can only do so much. But that's Biden making a eugenics, a Darwinist racist case against the DNA of blacks. That is Biden. That is deep down in his heart. Let's watch the rest of these clips of good news for Trump, the Bronx supporting Trump, and then Biden showing what his true character believes about inner city blacks.
Probably since 1960 and Richard Nixon against John F. Kennedy. That's how long we're really talking about when we're looking at this margin here. This could be a truly historic margin. It's quite a troubling sign for the Biden campaign.
So I would definitely come to a Trump rally in the South Bronx. I like him.
You do?
Yes.
Yes, I will come to a rally if President Trump was to come to the Bronx, and I also would bring other people to come too and support him.
Would Joe Biden get a warm reception if he came to the Bronx?
No, he wouldn't have. And I'll make sure of that.
A portion of them will become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. We have no choice but to take them out of society.
That is scary way more Hitlerian than anything Trump has ever said. That they have to be taken out of society because they're predators. They're beyond the pale, he said. They're beyond healing, beyond recovery and change. I just want you to compare that to the people who work in the inner city, try to turn gang members around. They appeal to even people in jails and try and turn their lives around, which should be turned around, by the way, through Jesus Christ. I mean, if you're going to uproot the tree, let's get down to the roots of what really turns us all evil. I stay up all night knowing I'm a fallen person, a person without hope, whom God rescued. He gave me Jesus and he rebuilt myself. Romans says we're no longer a slave to sin, but now we're slaves to him. And I'm happy to call myself a slave to Jesus Christ, to God's way, no longer a slave to sin. You do not have to do what you were born to do, my friends. I'm Doug in exile.